Have you ever felt that your whole life is speeding forward while you keep promising yourself that one day you'll slow down, one day you'll start living, one day you'll finally do what truly matters? That one day never comes. I didn't understand that until many decades later on a grey evening when rain washed the city, and I was driving home with my 16-year-old granddaughter, Emily, sitting beside me, silent, lost in thought, staring out the window as raindrops chased each other down the glass. There wasn't music, no laughter, just the soft hum of the car and the rhythm of rain. Then she quietly asked, "Grandpa, do you ever feel like everything you do in life doesn't really matter in the end?" She didn't sound dramatic. She didn't cry. She just sounded empty, and that emptiness pierced me deeper than any success or failure I had ever experienced. And I carried that question with me like a weight pressing on my heart. Before I take you through this story, if you are watching this video anywhere in the world, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who might need it, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Because this is not just a story, it's a warning, a mirror, and maybe it might save someone years of regret. My name is Robert. I am 78 now. People once called me successful, engineer, project manager, corporate leader, the man who always delivered, the man who climbed the ladder. I believed success was measured in promotions, salaries, titles, offices with views, and how busy you could prove you were. But when I look back now, I realize I misunderstood what truly matters. When I was 25, I landed what most people would consider the dream job. A 6-figure salary, fresh out of university, a prestigious international engineering firm, secure future, strong benefits status, the kind of job parents proudly tell relatives about. But the reality behind the glamour: endless documentation, repetitive approval cycles, mechanical tasks, sitting in offices, reviewing reports, instead of building anything meaningful. I kept telling myself, this is maturity. This is how success begins. But inside I felt a quiet dissatisfaction I didn't dare acknowledge. I remember one night, sitting alone in my new apartment. The bills were paid. I had a new car. I had financial security. But I had no excitement, no spark, nothing that made me feel alive. My mentor, Mr. Lewis, once told me, "Robert, you're becoming rich in money and poor in life." And I laughed because, back then, I thought wisdom belonged only to old age. By my early 30s, promotions came, responsibilities increased, titles changed, and with every congratulations, email life quietly took something back. I became team lead, then senior manager, responsible for bigger teams and larger projects. My days turned into 14-hour marathons, meetings, deadlines, emergency calls, issues that couldn't wait, and I convinced myself I was doing it for the family. Meanwhile, real life was happening without me. My wife, Eleanor, would gently say, "Robert, the children won't stay young forever. Don't miss moments you can't get back. But ambition has a way of closing your ears." She kept glancing at the audience, searching for me, but I was locked in a meeting about quarterly projections. She smiled afterward, brave and kind, but her eyes quietly asked, "Was your work really more important than me?" And that memory never left me. I was there physically in the house sometimes, but emotionally absent, mentally busy. When he graduated from high school, he hugged me with politeness rather than warmth. There was no anger, just distance created by years of absence. Because when you aren't present, life eventually learns to stop expecting you. Then came one of the biggest crossroads in my career. They were building something exciting, innovative automation systems that could revolutionize industries. They offered me not just a salary, but equity, leadership, a chance to shape something groundbreaking from the ground up. It was risky. No giant corporate safety net. I stayed with a safe corporate job, with predictable paychecks and known routines. A few years later, that startup became a global success. Their technology reshaped markets. Their founders became industry legends. And many who joined early built meaningful careers full of purpose and pride. I resented myself for letting fear make the decision. Not reason, not courage, not belief in myself. And I made another mistake many proud people make. I believed I didn't need help. I thought I was smart enough, experienced enough, capable enough to figure everything out on my own. That illusion shattered when I led one of the biggest corporate projects of my career. It was massive, complex, and required realistic planning, communication, and humility. Sylvia, a brilliant project manager far wiser than me, warned me early. Robert, slow the timeline, increase the testing phase. Be honest with the clients about what's realistically achievable. Don't push the team beyond sustainable limits. But ego whispered, you know better. Deliver fast and you'll be seen as a hero. So I ignored her advice. Clients were furious. Millions were at stake. My team burnt out, frustrated, demoralized. And I could see disappointment in their eyes, not because we failed, but because I had led them into failure. Eventually, Sylvia stepped in, not to humiliate me, but to save what could be saved. And in doing so, taught me one of the greatest lessons of my life. Strength is not doing everything alone. Strength is listening, learning, respecting, experience, and leading with humility. Along the way, I also discovered something else. Success isn't always loud, and meaningful lives are not always wrapped in titles. There was Mrs. Caldwell, our office secretary. No grand position, no awards, but on her retirement day, hundreds of people wrote messages, cried, thanked her for kindness, guidance, patience, small gestures of care that meant everything. She mattered deeply in ways most CEOs never do. My old friend Victor left a hugely paid consulting job to teach coding to underprivileged kids. People called him crazy, but I saw a man glowing with purpose, shaping futures, building lives. That, I realized, was real wealth. My children grew, my hair turned gray, my body slowed, corporate awards gathered dust on shelves, and I started asking myself, what did it all really mean? When I finally retired, the world did not collapse without me. The company replaced me in weeks. Projects moved on. Life continued. And in that quiet, I finally had time to feel everything I had been running from. The happiest memories of my life were never meetings, deadlines, promotions, or applause. They were laughter around dinner tables, teaching my children to ride bicycles, mentoring young engineers, sitting with Eleanor in quiet evenings. Those were the moments that truly lived. Everything else was noise, pretending to be important. And then came that rainy evening with Emily's question, again echoing in my soul. Does anything we do even matter? Yes, it matters, but not everything we chase matters. Life matters when you choose passion over empty routine. Life matters when you take brave chances. Life matters when you let yourself grow. Life matters when kindness, mentorship, humility, courage, and presence guide your choices instead of fear, ego, and pressure. So, if you're listening to this right now, whether you're 20 and starting your journey, 30 and deeply buried in work, 40 and feeling stuck, or even older, don't wait until 78 to wake up. Choose passion with responsibility, not just money with emptiness. Balance work and life, because success without loved ones is just loneliness with a title. Take calculated risks. Fear will always exist, but regret lasts longer. Seek mentors and listeners saves years. Be kind. Every small gesture creates ripples you may never see, but others never forget. And understand this: life is not endless. You don't get unlimited chances. Don't waste it living blindly. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone starting their career, someone drowning in routine, someone feeling lost or numb, someone who needs hope, clarity, or courage. Maybe your share becomes the turning point of someone's life. Tell me in the comments what one decision you will change starting today. And if you believe more people should hear real stories, real lessons, real truth, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us for more stories that turn experience into wisdom. And finally, here is my disclaimer. This story is meant to inspire, reflect, and educate. Some details may be generalized or slightly fictionalized to tell it clearly and emotionally, but the lessons are real. No individual, organization, or profession is attacked or glorified here. This is about life, choices, consequences, and second chances, and I hope it reaches every heart that still has time to choose differently.